Join the conversation.
Email pippah@capetalk.co.za.
Time to catch up on the latest shipping news as Brian Ingpen joins me in studio. And today, slightly different approach because we're calling on his specialist knowledge as a marine educator. For those who don't know, Brian spent, I think it's over 4 decades in classrooms in the field of education. And he was a key driving force in development of maritime studies as a school discipline. And for those who don't know, in late 2021, he was awarded the National Order of the Baobab in silver in recognition of his work in maritime education. So we are really privileged to have you sharing that perspective with us today, Brian, although it's always great to have you in studio, but particularly so today. Welcome.
Hello, Pippa. Yes, the local shipping scene's a little quiet. Very few ships around at the moment, but it'll soon change. But yes, we're into Lawhill Maritime Centre down at Simonstown today.
Because you are literally back there in person doing some relief teaching.
I have. I've been, shall we say, shanghaied to go and help out for a week or so because of an illness. So back in the classroom at a tender age, I am. But Lawhill started at Simonstown School 31 years ago, and it started as a small ad hoc program, and it's developed since to offer 3 maritime subjects to young people in grades 10 to 12.
Okay.
And those subjects are maritime economics, which is basically the shore side of shipping, the finance, insurance, all that. And then there's nautical science, which is navigation, seamanship, ship stability, and meteorology, etc., i.e. for navigating ships.
Yeah.
And then the third subject, which is a relatively new one, but a fascinating one, it's marine science. And that's a mixture of oceanography and marine biology, an extremely popular subject that is. These 3 subjects form part of the program at Lawhill Maritime Centre, which is part of Simonstown School. Now, during the course of this, obviously there's some theoretical teaching, there's practical navigation on charts and so on, but there are also opportunities for the young people to gain their yachting skipper's ticket, or even their small boat's skipper's ticket before leaving school. So technically they are capable of skippering a yacht before they can drive a car. And it leads to the possibility of them entering careers in the leisure boat industry. And about 40 of the students so far, it's perfectly voluntarily done, these skipper's tickets. About 40 young people have received a ticket, either the yachting one or the small boat or both, before they leave school. And it has led to several of them getting into this leisure boat industry, which is an expanding one, not so much in South Africa, but certainly abroad. And typically successful students move into the shipping industry ashore or even at sea. And what's interesting is that the current leaders of the program are both Lawhill alumni. And fantastic men who have really taken those positions with real enthusiasm and skill. And
Brian, if I can pause you there, we've got a voice note that's come in from one of our listeners who's got personal experience with Lawhill, which I'd love to play if we can take a listen. If anybody wants to comment, as Vasco has done, just send a WhatsApp to 072 567 1567. Let's hear what he had to say.
Hi, Pippa. Lawhill is a brilliant program. My son went to Simonstown School, he matriculated there. And from grade 10 to grade 12, he was at Lawhill. And now he's at SAMTRA. He's going the full 9 yards with that program. And he's busy studying to be a navigational officer. So I've got nothing but praise for that program.
That's so lovely to hear that feedback, Vasco. Thank you. And I'm so glad it's worked out well for your son. And obviously, the teaching at Lawhill has inspired him to carry on into the industry. Brian, I'm sure you've got lots of positive case studies like that to share.
Yes, thank you for that, Vasco. I think I got the name correct.
Yeah.
Thank you, Vasco, for that. Really appreciate your feedback. And yes, to run through just a few of the stories involved. And bear in mind, a lot of these young people come out of disadvantaged backgrounds. Some haven't even seen the sea. And the first chap to get a master certificate, i.e. can command any ship anywhere in the world, was Tubela, and he came from, of all places, in Kobo in the Eastern Cape. And Tubela is really a star. He's now a senior position ashore, having gone through all the courses and all the sea time and experience needed, and a wonderful chap. And then there's Nomkita, who hailed from Bedford. She's a successful executive in International Maritime Company based in Durban, and she's a director of that company. And Nomkita is one of these people with real enthusiasm for anything she does. Rolf, a local chap from Simonstown, went to sea. He also had a spell at UCT, and then went back to sea and completed all his qualifications, get his master's ticket. And he's commanded ships as well. Kelly, young lady also from the Simonstown area, now qualified chief engineer and a marine superintendent in Singapore. Sure. Nicole is the master of a large container ship. Yes, you heard correctly, Nicole. Wonderful lady. Lots of energy, lots of enthusiasm. We call it oomph. Yep. And here she is commanding one of these large container ships on international trade. And then there's the Jubela family. I shouldn't have given the surname, but anyway, it's all good because Blondie is a second engineer with Royal Caribbean cruise ships, and that's a major job, huge plant to operate, and all the electrics and electronics and so on involved in a modern cruise ship. And she's about to get her chief engineer's certificate. Her brother is Msekeli, he's about to get his master's certificate. And Tondo is also an engineer aboard Disney cruise ships.
Wow.
So this is a family from the Eastern Cape. And of course, it's changed not only their lives, but changed the lives of their family. And wonderful people who've really taken to these careers with great enthusiasm. I think of Aubrey, a qualified navigating officer who probably next year will get his PhD from Durban University. He's a university lecturer in maritime studies, or FAE, who's dividing her time between Dubai and Denmark and Cape Town and working on green fuels, which of course is an exciting new venture in the shipping world and is destined to expand remarkably. Or Katlego, who came from Nigel, away from the sea, took to the shipping industry with great gusto, and she's based in Dubai for a shore-based shipping company, and there she is in Dubai. And what was interesting is that I visited the tugs in Cape Town, I think it was last year, and it was absolutely amazing because all of the 3 tugs that were in operation at the time, there was one just coming out of layup, and so there were 4 tugs there. All 4 tug masters are ex-Lawhill students. Gosh. And I understand there are now about 17 tug masters in local ports throughout the country, and some chief engineers on tugs also, and some trainee pilots. So it's just wonderful. And as an education guy, I really look back on that time at Lawhill with a fantastic amount of job satisfaction because of the young people I met, people with energy, people with oomph, who prepared to get stuck in and do their work and cooperate and really take to this industry. And there's lots to offer in the industry.
Before we get to that, Brian, I just want to say and emphasize what you've said. I mean, you're mentioning Kobo, you're mentioning Bedford. These are interior towns of the Eastern Cape. These are kids who might have grown up, as you said, never having even seen the sea, never having, the fact that they were given the opportunity to aspire to working in maritime fields is extraordinary to me, and that opportunity exists for someone to build that life for themselves is just phenomenal, to know that it's right here on our doorstep. And
it takes a lot for the young people themselves to really put their energy into the possibility of entering one of these very unusual careers or a career ashore in shipping as well. There are plenty of careers that are available. There are perhaps not as many vacancies as I would like to see, but certainly there are some opportunities. And one of the expanding sectors of the maritime industry to which I referred just now is the super yacht sector. And I think of Luto, who comes from Gqeberha, Silvino from Oudtshoorn, or Noel from Mitchell's Plain. Now all three in the super yacht industry and working outside of South Africa. And of course the main place for the super yachts is the Mediterranean and the Caribbean. And they've had a wonderful experience there. There's Tommy, who's now a successful entrepreneur. And also, they don't all go to sea because we've got some doctors, qualified doctors, and there are apparently 5 now studying medicine at various universities.
Fantastic.
So that's also a fantastic side that we don't just channel into the maritime industry, but into the wider industry. As I always say, even if a chap or lady goes to work for a bank, and he has to order for one of the department stores, clothing companies, he will know how the shirts come from China to South Africa and how we import things and all the documentation involved.
Yeah, so there are lots of aspects to this on shore as well as at sea. Brian, before we must wrap up, I'm so glad somebody has asked the question, who or what is the Lawhill that the Lawhill Maritime Centre is named after?
It's a what? It's in fact a ship that was captured, a Finnish ship that was captured during World War II when Finland technically became an enemy of South Africa. She was transferred to the South African flag, and with some of the Finns on board and some Swedes on board, she continued trading, but she also took on some South African cadets. Okay. And those cadets, all of them, went into really important positions in the South African maritime industry. And so we thought, well, the first big training ship was Lawhill, so let's call it Lawhill. And if I may just slip in a quick story here, Pippa, because it sort of sums it up. I think of Tyrone, who came to us from almost central Cape Town, skinny young lad when he arrived, and he took to the course also with great energy and enthusiasm, and off he went eventually to sea, became a qualified navigating officer, and today he has his master's ticket. But his ship was approaching New Orleans, and he saw a ship from the same company leaving New Orleans. So he called him up on the VHF, and they had a chat, and he discovered that the officer responding from the other ship was Paulette, a schoolmate from Lawhill and the other side of the world. So it's been a great journey for me, great voyage for me, shall I say, and really lots of enthusiasm and excitement about the course.
Brian, I've enjoyed getting this insight into an institution I've referenced frequently but never known the story behind. So thank you for that, and enjoy the last couple of days of relief teaching that have got you back in the classroom. They're lucky to have you, and we're lucky to have you. We'll chat again next week, Tuesday.
Thanks, Pippa. All the best.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Keep well. Brian Ingpen.